welcome to Dungeons Podcast. So I don't really like doing topic videos, hot topic videos, because it's just like, it just seems like a waste of time to me. But like, I just gotta say this, man. So the new Indiana Jones film is going to come out next year. It's directed by James Mangold, which I'm kind of like, hit or miss fan of him. Wasn't really a huge fan of his Wolverine films that he did. I think he only did one. I don't know, but I was a fan of his 2003 film Identity. Right, and he's directing the new Indiana Jones film, and it's like they're bringing back Harrison Ford, and they have like Mads Mikkelsen as like a Nazi scientist who uh, was recruited by the U.S. military in Operation Paperclip, right? And he's supposed to be the new villain of the movie. He's supposed to be the villain of the film. And like people figured out that this movie is pretty much just going to be instead of aliens, they're replacing aliens with instead of commies, they're replacing the commies with Nazis. And this movie is pretty much going to be a remake of the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, but without aliens, obviously. Or maybe the aliens. Well, the aliens are probably going to be in there because like the guy's supposed to be a Nazi scientist working for NASA, right? So yeah, they're probably going to have the aliens. But what people figure out is like, oh, he's going to have like a female sidekick in the film, and they're obviously going to do a thing where like he gives the hat to the female sidekick and she becomes the new Indiana Jones or whatever, right? So like people are roasting this film online, saying that there's no chance in hell this movie is going to be good, and like James Mangold got defensive and calling people like incels living in their basement, which like I always love that fucking thing. It's like, oh, you guys can't get laid, so what do you know? It's like us can't fucking convincing girls to have sex with us means that we're like we can't figure out, like can't put two and two together to figure out if a movie's gonna be good or not. Obviously, like despite the fact that we've been right like how many fucking times, especially with that female Ghostbusters in the film. This movie has no chance of being good, by the way. This movie is going to be so bad, it's going to do what the fucking Disney Star Wars films did to the prequels, where it's going to be so fucking bad, people are going to go back and watch Kingdom of Crystal Skull and be like, yeah, that was actually a pretty good movie. Which that film at least had the famous duo of George Lucas and Steven Spielberg. George Lucas writing and Spielberg directing. Spielberg is just going to be producing the fucking film, right? And like, who knows if George Lucas... Oh, actually, George Lucas is not even working on the script. It's like Mangold is working on the script. So like, this movie is just gonna feel like Indiana Jones, like fan fiction. Even worse, because like, who the fuck wants to see 78-year-old? Apparently, like Harrison Ford is 78 now. 78-year-old Indiana Jones going on adventures and shit. And I know I've said like in the past I was never a huge fan of Indiana Jones. I would fucking watch the old films over this piece of shit. Who wants to see like a fucking old man going on in like adventures, like finding like lost civilizations and shit, fighting like Nazis? This is gonna be the dumbest fucking film ever. And Harrison Ford is too old, literally too old for this shit. This movie has zero chance of fucking being good, and it's fucking obvious. This is the dumbest shit ever. They're just doing this to pass the torch. For like diversity and shit. To get so they can make it like a female Indiana Jones, which like they couldn't wait to see how that would work out for like James Bond, because the fucking James Bond movie's not even out, and they're gonna do the same thing, and they can't even wait for that movie to come out, see how that works out, and then do this. No, they're like rushing everything, man. So fucking dumb. which that movie's gonna suck too, by the way. So and that's like a 50-something-year-old like James Bond. Holy fuck, man. Yeah, and like I just wanted to say I'm gonna like defend Kingdom of the Crystal Skull for a little bit. If Kingdom of the Crystal Skull came out in the late '90s, right? Like if it came out like a decade before it did, the movie probably would have been considered good because Aliens was big at that point because of X-Files and shit. Harrison Ford wouldn't have been too old for the role, and it would have actually been good. But because it came out 2008, but the only reason that film sucks, and I know there's this stupid scene with where like he survives a nuclear explosion by like hiding himself in a lead-lined fridge. That was this campy, right? And those films are campy. But like, at least like the only reason that film sucked was because he was just too old, and people are just too polite to say it. But they're like with a 78-year-old like Harrison Ford, like come on, man, this is just fucking dumb. And the fans are 100% right to call out this shit. This is retarded. This movie shouldn't even be getting made in the first place. Alright, guys, that's it.